You had the sense, is Argentina going to pull a bit of magic out with Messi at the end, but are Spain the deserving world champions for you?
Definitely, no question about it. Look at the game, 20 some odd shots for Spain, however many on target, none for Argentina on target. Lopsided game in the end, and I understand what people say. Grinta, fight, discipline, fighting, you know. But in the end, again, it's about the football. It's about football one.
Football one today.
And it's about the spaces, and it's about the technical aspects, and it's about the speed of the ball, and it's about these things. And for the Hollywood fans out there that came into the World Cup that maybe are not soccer fans, and they came in and they watched the game yesterday and they go, wow, I can really get into this. See you later. Get out. Because the real football won today. The team that plays the real football won today. Not the fighting, not the stuff after the ball, not the Lionel Messi story. No. The real football won today. And to me, I think there's something really beautiful about that. Spain were quiet, they won the game in the right way, and they dominated Argentina.
And how incredible, Nige, to not only win the World Cup, but to win the World Cup without conceding a single goal all tournament is pretty incredible.
One goal.
Amazing.
One goal.
Amazing.
One goal.
We've got to give credit to Spain. And I've got to give credit to my colleague, as much as he's a bit of a numpty at times, but he was 100% right. He talked about Spain, he talked about everything that they have, the attributes that they have, Poppy. Winning the ball back, the high press, how they play, technical ability, comfortable in tight areas. They rose to the occasion. They're a team that got better in this tournament. We talk about the first game, where we had question marks after seeing their first game against Cabo Verde, thinking, oh, are they Spain the favourites or not? Can we question if they're going to go all the way to the final and make it? None of us really had them in that kind of league, apart from Grella. Most of us thought that, you know what, France...
Did you have them winning the tournament in your bracket?
Between Spain and France, it was difficult.
But did you pick them in your bracket?
I think I had France, Argentina.
Yeah, but most people had France in there. But credit to Grella to say about the footballing dynamic of what Spain are. And he was 100% right. The team dynamic won today. They were by far the better side. But I would say, I would be lying if I didn't say that the sending off of Enzo Fernandez did not play a part. Because one thing is, we know as players, when you go a man down, it does play a part. But when you go a man down against a team that's so well coached, like Spain, so comfortable on the ball, so football intelligent in how they keep possession, knowing when to go forward, when to slow the pace down, when they can keep possession, switch it from side to side by missing a player, they are the ultimate team, and they were absolutely phenomenal today, and they deserved it.
I mean, Troy, even at the end there, to keep Argentina without a shot till we went to extra time, it was a remarkable defensive performance, but both sides of the ball, they've just been so impressive.
Yeah, again, we talked to the defensive side of it, but 67% possession again. They dominate the ball, they keep the ball, they understand moments of the game, when to go forward, when to go back. Really interesting part towards the end. Nico Williams goes through, tries a little quick beat. I don't know why, but the whole crowd, the whole bench were like, whoa, 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 that's not what we do. Because it wasn't about him trying to skill, it was about him giving the ball up cheaply. They don't do that. They were fantastic. Argentina, we give them credit for staying in the game. Again, you mentioned Enzo Fernandez. I thought that was childish. I thought it was a little bit reckless.
It was reckless, but I said to Grella and I had a difference of opinion. I don't know what your opinion is on that, Troy, but I said if Enzo Fernandez had stayed on that pitch there, I think Argentina would have showed enough character to take this to penalties. And then we could just toss a coin on that.
Yeah,
that's just my
possibly,
opinion.
but the point is, he got himself sent off. It was his recklessness, because you're on a yellow card as well.
We all agreed it was a double yellow, right?
Oh, yeah, nailed on. But it's also, it's in an area of the pitch he can let that tackle go. It's on the halfway line. Like, they're not going to score from that singular action. So he would want that back, because it's just youthful energy trying to get there, trying to create something and make something happen. But I thought Spain were fantastic throughout. And do you know what? We talk about the players. We have to talk about the manager. The manager did some really brave decisions as well today. Put Ferran Torres in before we put Marino in. Marino's been the guy scoring, but he tested Ferran Torres. I went, go on, you go in and you win it. So I thought it was fantastic.
From European champions to World Cup champions. That is absolutely phenomenal by
Who's
Spain.
going to stop them? Who do you see stopping the Spain side in the next few years?
You know what? I think it's not going to be hard to stop. It's going to be very hard to stop this Spain side, because my problem is this as well. If they could get that striker that's on form, that is the only missing piece with Spain. That's the only criticism I can give to Spain, to say, listen,
Need it, though?
they need it.
Oh, they do?
They do need it, because they create so many chances. If you've got that striker, like probably Troy was, the true number 9, hold up play, bring the team higher up the pitch, but willing to make those runs in the box and to have that muscle memory to want to score goals, to be a fox in the box. If they get that piece there, it's going to be very hard to stop Spain moving forward, in my opinion. That's just my opinion on that.
They play with no number 9 and no Yamal. Yamal didn't do anything the entire tournament. He was very underwhelming by his standards. And you know, when I think about this matchup, I think about Argentina. I think about the stories that came into here. I saw Argentina take over Times Square. I saw Maradona, Messi, all the amazing stories. You know, and I think back to my own family. I think back to my kids. My son wants to be an astronaut. He said, Dad, I want to be an astronaut. I said, buddy, you're going to pay taxes and work like a dog like the rest of us. And that's what happened today. The Argentina story was amazing. We wanted to buy it. But in the end, look at the stats. 67% possession, 20 shots, 12 on target. Argentina 0 on target. There's levels to this game.
But we've seen this before, Grell.
We've seen it before.
Hold on. In a world where marketing is taking control, the best player is never the best player. FIFA wants to tell you this guy is the best. In a world where marketing and social media takes control, Spain said, no. We're going to show you what football is. And the real football won today. That's why I feel good.
But hang on. Was it that comfortable for Spain? I know that the stats tell you, yes, it was comfortable.
Credit to Argentina.
The last minute, did you feel like
credit?
Done?
Yes. Credit to Argentina that they just won't die, because it should have been much more comfortable. So credit there to Argentina, because with very little, they hung on forever. But in the end, it's overwhelming, Spain, what they did. And just look at the statistics. I think this is a game where you can look at the statistics and it tells you actually what the game was like.
What were you going to say, Nige?
I was going to say that, listen, Greg and I have a disagreement in the fact of, I think that if Enzo Fernandez had stayed on, I think Argentina have shown us enough in this tournament of the grit and the mindset to say, no, we're going to take this to penalties. And for me personally, Martinez is one of the best goalkeepers in the world, especially when it comes to those type of situations and scenarios. So I understand what Grell is coming to about Spain, but I think for me, that sending off did change the dynamic and the momentum of this game.
Viva España! This is the teams that have won the Euros and then went on to win the World Cup. West Germany, Spain, and Spain again. This is so difficult to do, Nige. Only 8 nations have ever won the World Cup. It's Spain's first since 2010. This is incredible, isn't it? Incredible night for Spanish football.
Phenomenal. Listen, there's no words that us as ex-players and analysts now in our next part of our chapter of life can ever put what it's like to go through tournament football. It's so difficult. And even when you look at the end scenes there, Poppy, of the pictures of what we talked about so much about Messi being 39 years old and what he's doing and how he's influencing the game, and just amazing to witness that. To get to the final is one thing, but to lose that final, it's another thing that it's just you can never put into words of how hard that journey is. And for these guys there that are natural born winners, especially the Argentina team and how they've applied themselves, it's a punch to the gut. It's something that you never forget for the rest of your life. And they know how hard that journey is to qualify for a World Cup and then to get all the way through to a final of a World Cup. It's just something that it's an amazing journey as a football player. And it's something that no money in the world can ever pay for. And only those guys can maybe find the right words.
What are you talking about? You've just gone on this journey. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm talking about the journey of what we've just witnessed there in the World Cup final. That's
I'm
what
talking
I'm
about
saying.
Spain. You're talking about Messi and the journey. And I'm
talking about Messi and the journey, but also for Spain. Spain is fantastic for them, but also for Argentina, it's heartache. It's just a whole day as a whole.
Okay, boys, congratulations. You just won the World Cup. How are you feeling?
We feel amazing. One thing I'm going to say, football won today. Indeed. Yeah, I'm going to leave the word to him.
No, vamos España, que viva España! España is great. I just want to say one thing. Conversation is over 3 back-to-back World Cups. There's no conversation. Messi is the best. Kudos to Spain. They're arguably the greatest ever international team because they've been playing together.
Yeah.
Messi, though.
Do you not feel sorry for Messi? You don't care?
No, I love him.
One. He has one.
He has one.
Yeah, he has
already.
one. That's enough. That's enough. Yeah.
And-
Now it's Lamine Yamal's time.
And is this your dog's first World Cup win with
Yeah,
Spain?
it's her first time.
I saw when you were celebrating, you lifted your dog above your head.
She's our trophy. She's our trophy.
Good. Did the best team win today?
Of course, of course. 0 shots in 90 minutes. Come on.
Okay. Fine, last question. How are you going to celebrate?
Well, we're just gonna drink a bunch of beers.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Pardon?
No, Mao, Madrid beer.
Oh, lovely. All right then, boys. Congratulations. Thank you very much. Oh, he's so cute. I saw you.
Get the sangria on top. I don't think any Spanish fan is going to feel bad for Leo Messi. This is a look at their SOFA score ratings, though, against Argentina. Rodri with the highest rating. You boys all agree?
Yeah, I absolutely do. I think he dictated the game. Everything went through him again. Defensively as well was fantastic, winning any headers or breaking up. And that's some really intelligent fouls as well, Nigel, you know, when they were trying to get on the counter-attack. For me, he's remarkable to play 99 minutes after having such an injury-laden season the way that he's had, to be in this situation again. Look, 95% passing. Those stats are great, and you can look at them, they're fantastic. It's moments in the game, in the first half when he's setting the tempo, Nigel, breaking through the lines and running beyond 2 and 3 players. We haven't been able to see him do that this year due to the injury. He looks and feels so much fitter and sharper. I bet he doesn't want the break.
100%.
He's now starting to feel really up to speed, but hopefully now for us, obviously covering the Carabao Cup, Champions League, we get to see him at his best for Man City.
What Troy talks about is the art of playing centre midfield, and there's certain things that people might not understand, and the metrics you never take into consideration when you're playing in centre midfield. When you set the tempo of playing in centre midfield, we already know how much of a good passer he is, how composed he is on the ball, getting the ball from the back line. But when you drive forward and break lines, that changes the whole dynamic of the game. That changes the whole defensive structure of your opponents, and you can pop it off. It's experience. What Rodri has is the experience of playing for so many years. That is priceless. And when you play with an experienced player, especially being a young player, and you've got someone that's so experienced, it makes it so much more easier for you in the game. Because I guarantee you, as good as he is with the influence of how he plays the game, is the same way that he talks to the younger players and guides them through. You talk about a team with Lamine Yamal and a team with Cubarsi that's only 19 years old.
The tournament for you?
100%.
Yeah?
There's no denying that. I think for me, he has been the best player of this World Cup, and the influence he's had on Spain is priceless.
Would you agree with that, Grell?
I like Rodri this tournament. All year I said, actually funny, Yamal was the opposite. Yamal all year I said, wow, best player I've ever seen. Tournament, not very good. Rodri all year I said, man, doesn't look like himself. Boom, tournament, he grew into the tournament and became one of the most important players, influential players. Probably their most important player. You could add the Cubarsi into that and maybe the manager as well, because I think that's important. But it was the unit that won the game. For me, there were levels apart. Spain were so good, they deserved to win the tournament. At the end of the day, I think it was between Spain and France to win it, because France were a very dynamic team. Spain were more of a team with possession and under control the spaces. So in the end, the right team won. I think football won. So I just feel like the result. You know, a lot of neutrals I know, a lot of people coming into football now will say, oh, it was a boring game. And maybe for large parts it was boring. But in the end, I think the football won, and I'm always happy when the football wins.
Isn't it amazing as well? Because I agree with you. Neutrals will look at that game and go, oh, that was a boring game. And look at yesterday's game, which was a bit of a circus, and go, oh, that was amazing, because of the amount of goals. Yeah, this was a really tactical game, really broke down, and two different styles of football trying to break each other down. And for me, it was thoroughly entertaining. The pressure, the emotion as well, Nigel. Such a big game, the biggest game in football.
So would you say that this game was more entertaining for you than the first?
Yeah, yesterday to me, yes, there were goals. I get that. The first part was like a Sidemen charity match. Genuinely, it was walking around.
Match. Let's be real. It was a charity match.
It was.
And if those players played like they did in yesterday's game for their domestic clubs, they will not be seeing the pitch for 2 or 3 weeks. That's the reality of it. But this was a final. We talked about it being edgy and being tight. And again, we have difference of opinion, which is fine, because every opinion that we have so far is valid to the point of view. And I agree with Grella that Spain were the better team. But no matter what people want to say or not, Argentina hung in there, and the belief would have been in there. They went a man down, and they still kind of tried to stick around as much as they could. And also, even with Spain taking the lead, Argentina had 2 glorious chances to level the game, and they didn't. They didn't have the quality at that moment there, where if it fell to Messi, we'll probably say maybe we could have gone to penalties.
I would say clarity in that moment.
Yeah.
Do you know, like if that ball drops now, game dead, and you're practicing, you're going to do it. But having the clarity in that moment to be calm, because what happens there as a forward player, when it's like this is probably the last chance. You speed up, your heart speeds up, your mind speeds up, and then you just do something wild. Whereas if they had that again, and this is what separates Messi and those top finishers, their clarity in those moments have got to do the right thing, bro.
Listen, I love this game more than anything. This was a celebration all month, or the last 5-6 weeks, whatever it was. And in football, it requires so much. It requires so much sacrifice, as everybody here knows. And it requires so many different things, and it requires emotion. And the storyline of Argentina was so great. But the most important thing, and if you're a young kid or if you're playing football, the most important thing is the football. It's the football. I mean, yeah, I get it. The story of, I'm a fighter and I hit you off the ball and I play these little, and I get it. And I understand all that. But it's the football. Speed is in the football. Speed is in the technique. Speed is in that. And so for me, that's the most important thing, is that the football told the story this tournament. That it broke down the teams that don't play the best football. It found all their weaknesses. The USA found their weakness in the end. All the African teams, which I loved, I was a big fan of. I wanted to see an African team win. Found all their weaknesses in the end. France,
England
found their weakness in England was easy.
He's Italian. You can't ask an Italian to say feel sorry for England.
I was waiting.
You can't ask him to feel sorry for England.
But
come on.
In the end, for me, the football is the most important thing. And I think in our game, in our sport, and the way we love it, and the way we played it, all of us have played it, is the football comes first. And when I see that, I'm happy if the winner holds that accountable.
It does feel in some ways like no matter who Spain would have played today, they would have won, right? We were saying even if England had made it to the final, these 2 teams would have beat them. Spain were the best team. They won on the day. Where does this leave Leo Messi, Troy, do you think now, looking ahead? Does he have a bit of a chip on his shoulder? And
my ears fell out, so I can't hear anything. So one sec.
Now?
There you go. Sorry, carry on.
Where does this leave Messi, mate?
So I'll do that in a minute. For me, this is Messi still the greatest. I don't think this was a moment that you really defined. This was like icing on top of the cake. Do you know what I mean? He's still been great. He's shown you in these moments how good he is. He's shown you in the last game how great he still can be. But at 39 years of age, I think it's unfair to keep saying game after game, do it. Game after game, do it. And I think ultimately, to Grela's point, the team won, didn't it?
The team won.
The team won.
Is this the last game for him for Argentina?
No, I don't think it'll be the last game for Argentina, but I think it'll be the last World Cup.
Okay.
I think he'll look at Ronaldo and how he's been perceived in this. I think I still performed well. We got to a final. All right, I can live with that.
I think Argentina as a nation will want to give him a great send-off. That's the thing. I think with games coming up, I think they want to give him a real great send-off.
But how do they do that? Just the next games that are coming?
Picking him for a few next internationals, playing in Argentina or wherever it is going to be. But it's to give him a legendary send-off because he deserves
no
that.
Copa America or any major tournament.
I don't see him playing any major tournament after that. I think that for me now, he's really bowed at the top. And he was the key figure. He wasn't a passenger for this Argentina.
You don't see him do the Copa America?
I don't see him. I think for me, listen, I'll say this. He wasn't the passenger during this World Cup. He was the bus driver of this World Cup for Argentina to get them to the final.
You agree, Grell?
He showed me this World Cup more than ever because I told you I'm a big Maradona fan. I always had him #1. He showed me that he's the best ever, greatest of all time. Better than Maradona, better than Pelé, better than R9, better than Cristiano Ronaldo. So for me, he did enough, and he should be proud of what he did, and amazing player.